Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day yesterday on Sunday. Today's weather forecast calls for more severe weather from the Missouri Valley eastward to the mid Atlantic states as we go into your Tuesday. And then a warming trend does take us into late week with heat building across the west central United States. How warm will temperatures soar? And then more active weather will be possible into the last week in May with more heavy rain and severe weather prospects returning. We'll get into those details later on in today's video. But waking up this morning for work or school, it is very chilly up here, at least for May standards across the Great Lakes. We're waking up to temperatures into the low and middle 40s across the upper peninsula of Michigan, northern Wisconsin, getting into northern lower Michigan, and much of New England here this morning. We do have a boundary setting up across the lower Ohio Valley, and just south of that boundary this morning, temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. And in fact, the last 24-hour temperature change from yesterday morning to this morning, we are a good 10 to 20 degrees colder up here across parts of the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and into portions of New England going into this morning, but pretty close to average of what we had the last 24 hours with our temperatures down here across the deep south and the southeast. But waking up and then going into this afternoon will be a different story because we will be warming up here across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. So if we're waking up chilly, we will turn those temperatures around this afternoon. We'll be back into the low and middle 70s. A little bit of some rain cooled air up here across the Missouri Valley later on today, but the heat will be building across the southeast. Multiple low 90-degree highs will be possible from portions of Arkansas, Louisiana eastward across Dixie Alley and into Florida this afternoon. And waking up again on Tuesday, it may be chilly across the Ohio Valley, but we will be rebounding into the 60s and 70s going into Tuesday afternoon with more heat across the southeast with temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s. But like I said, we do have a boundary setting up, a stationary front down here across the Ohio River and Tennessee River valleys and then back across the southern plains. That will be a focal point for showers and storms, in which some of these could be severe later on today. And this whole entire storm system and boundary will be pushing farther east on Tuesday and focusing across the lower Ohio Valley into the mid-Atlantic states going into your Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. But if you like detailed weather breakdowns on North America, including southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics, this is the channel for you. So be sure to press the subscribe button down below. It's free to do. And again, these weather videos come out every single morning at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time on this channel. It's also very important to press the like button, the thumbs up button down below the video. It definitely helps out more than you know, so I definitely appreciate it. But going through today, we have a low-end severe weather threat, a 1 out of 5 on the scale in the dark green shaded area here across southern Missouri, getting into western Kentucky here today near the Paducah area, and then back across Springfield, Missouri. Those areas we could be expecting some damaging winds and hail, and you do notice the tornado risk is basically nil this afternoon. So that is some good news, mainly just damaging winds and large hail. And then this entire system pushes east on Tuesday, and we actually have a little bit more of an upgrade to the severe risk on Tuesday across southeastern Kentucky, western Virginia, getting into northeastern portions of Tennessee near the Knoxville region, Lexington, Kentucky, and on there farther to the east into western Virginia. That'll mainly, again, be for damaging winds and large hail. However, a small 2% shading in the light green area for tornadoes, so an isolated tornado or two will be possible across southeastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, getting into western Virginia, and perhaps very far western North Carolina as we go through the day on Tuesday. So let's first take a look at Monday, May 15th, timing it out for you, the noon time frame here today. We have some scattered showers and storms back across the Central Plains, getting into the Missouri Valley. Likely not severe through much of the morning and the early afternoon. We also have to watch some heavier thunderstorms developing down near the Rio Grande Valley in south central Texas. A couple of these storms could be producing some isolated strong wind gusts and some smaller hail down there. But going through peak daytime heating, 6 o'clock this evening, we'll see scattered showers and storms and a scattered coverage across the Missouri Valley down here in portions of of the Cape Girardeau region, just south of St. Louis. Those will be rumbling eastward toward Paducah, Kentucky as we get through this evening. And a couple of scattered showers and storms can't be ruled out across central Texas and the deep south across Dixie Alley going through this evening. But likely the most severe storms will be up here into southeastern portions of Missouri into western Kentucky. And then those will start to weaken in intensity and coverage as we lose the instability after the sun does set this evening. And then we'll be left with mainly showers going towards the midnight time frame on your Tuesday morning. Then going into Tuesday, May 16th, let's time this out here for Tuesday. Waking up Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Again, scattered showers, a few rumbles of thunder across central and southern Illinois, portions of the St. Louis region, Springfield, Illinois, waking up to some soggy weather for your workday on Tuesday. Then these storms will progress farther to the east across the lower Ohio River Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and the mid-Atlantic states, going through Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening. Not everybody will see severe weather, but if you get under one of these stronger cells, they could be producing damaging winds, large hail, and maybe an isolated tornado or two, especially getting into eastern Kentucky there, eastern Tennessee, and on up there into western Virginia, getting into 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Then again, as the instability does wane going into Wednesday morning around midnight or thereafter, we will start to lose the intensity and coverage of the storms from west to east across the mid-Atlantic states. Looking at the total rainfall accumulation now through Wednesday, the May 17th time frame through the middle of the week, we will be seeing 1 to 2 inches of rain expected across the mid-Atlantic, down through the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys and back into the lower Missouri Valley as well, with the heaviest rains expected across southern Missouri and portions there of eastern Kentucky. We also have to keep an eye on some heavier rainfall down here into south central Texas, into the Rio Grande Valley. We definitely could be adding up over an inch of rain across Corpus Christi down toward Brownsville, Texas, as we go through the midweek time frame. This could be causing some flooding issues. Today into Tuesday, we have a slight risk up here across southern Missouri, getting into portions there of the southern plains, and then down into south central Texas, we do have to watch out another slight risk for flash flooding as possible today into your Tuesday morning. This all shifts farther east with a slight risk for flash flooding on Tuesday, mainly across the lower Ohio River Valley into portions of the mid-Atlantic, going into your Tuesday and into Wednesday morning on May 17th. Then going into Wednesday, we have another system moving in with some vorticity across the Rocky Mountain states, so our attention turns back to the west on Wednesday afternoon. A massive upper level low pressure system will be sprawling out across southern Canadian provinces of Saskatchewan and Manitoba Wednesday afternoon. But just underneath that, we're going to be watching for some vorticity starting to show up here across the western high plains into the front range of the Rockies by Wednesday night on May 17th. And with modest moisture return, dew points will be back into the upper 40s to mid 50s across this region and supporting at least weak instability values with convective available potential energy rising into the 1,000, perhaps 1,500 joules per kilogram range. We could also be seeing some weak shear overlapping. So the one limiting factor for a more major severe weather outbreak here will be limited moisture and limited shear values from the surface all the way up to 500 millibars. But we do have a threat for severe weather on Wednesday. So looking at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday, not much happening. A shower or storm cannot be ruled out, but I think more scattered coverage of showers and storms from the western Dakotas, western Nebraska, down toward the Denver region, Boulder, Colorado, those areas, and then getting down into northeastern New Mexico will be possible through late afternoon and early evening around 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And this begins to shift a little farther east slowly across the high plains as we go into the overnight hours into your Thursday morning at 1 a.m. And again, a couple of those areas could be seeing some stronger storms. Then looking ahead to the long range forecast here, going into late this week, like I mentioned, the upper level low will be sprawling out across the southern Canadian provinces of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. This will be dropping southeastbound through this weekend on the Saturday, May 20th time frame across the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. This could be bringing a little bit of a cool down across portions of the eastern two-thirds of the country where we have below normal temperature temperature anomalies showing up from our friends at the Climate Prediction Center from May 20th through the 24th time frame. Definitely seeing a little bit of a cold front dropping to the south and east, but a heat wave will be arriving across the Pacific Northwest and staying there for quite some time through that 24th time frame of May. And you can see that here Thursday, May 18th. We got some heat down here across the southern plains and Dixie Alley, but here comes our cold front Thursday afternoon, dropping our temperatures back into the 60s across the upper Midwest. And then the heat out west will be the big story here going into late this week. Multiple areas getting into the 90s, if not hundreds, down here toward Death Valley in Southern California. The same thing will hold true on Friday, but this won't be a cold front like we're seeing in February, March, or April. We will see a cool down, but temperatures will only be back into the upper 60s and lower 70s. So more pleasant, drier conditions on Friday, May 19th to the north, and then we'll start moderating some of the heat farther east with some 80s showing up across the northern plains and parts of the upper Midwest, getting in towards next weekend on Saturday, May 20th. But then going through the end of the month, it does look like the heat will remain largely centered across the Pacific Northwest, but some of that could be inching farther east across the upper Midwest and then parts of New England. And we have more troughing building underneath that, so no surprise we have below normal temperatures favored through that May 28th time frame across portions of Texas, Dixie Alley, and the southeast. And you can see that with that cooling trend and the troughing underneath the ridge of high pressure, we will be seeing a lot of moisture return. So on Thursday, May 18th, we got a lot of these green anomalies showing up across the southwestern United States and the southern plains. This will hang out across the southern United States for several days. You can see that cold front moving across the Midwest on Friday. Behind that, you can see drier air with the brown shaded anomalies back into the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Nebraska. And then that even dries out more farther south as well into portions of the Missouri Valley on Saturday, with that cold front transitioning farther east across the Ohio Valley down into the southeast, and a little bit more monsoonal moisture across portions of Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California going in towards next weekend on Saturday, May 20th, and then going into Sunday, May 21st, we'll be drying out those dew points across the eastern two-thirds of the country, and we'll see the moisture again hanging around parts of the southwestern United States. So looking at the precipitation outlook during the May 20th to May 24th timeframe from this upcoming weekend through next week, we do have above normal precipitation likely across the southwestern United States, especially across Arizona there into New Mexico. Over the top, we're going to have a ridge, so a lot of sinking air, a lot of below normal precipitation. It doesn't mean precipitation will not occur, just lighter amounts than we usually would see climatologically favored. And then across the southeast, including Florida and Georgia here, we will be seeing above normal precipitation there as well. And then that will carry over with much of the same pattern carrying us all the way through the end of May. And looking at the severe weather forecast now, so looking at the dew point temperatures this coming weekend on May 20th, 21st, a lot of that cold front is going to be pushing farther to the south and east, so we'll be drying out the air mass. We still could have 50-degree dew points lingering around, but not a lot of instability. We start to see some moisture and instability return into the high plains and parts of the Missouri Valley getting into next week on May 22nd through the 25th time frame. That's where I do think it is possible. So my severe weather forecast from this coming Saturday, May 20th through next Thursday, May 25th, it is possible we see severe weather from Nebraska, southeastern Wyoming through eastern Colorado, Kansas, on farther southward into central Texas, and perhaps as far south as Louisiana going through next week. And then we start to see even more moisture return and deeper moisture from the western Gulf of Mexico streaming up into the south central plains, the lower Missouri Valley late next week towards May 26th through the 31st time frame. And that's where we'll have more of an opening up for severe weather. I do think severe weather will be coming back with a vengeance toward the very end of May here, with likely severe weather from Nebraska down through the Red River here into southern Oklahoma and North Texas, with possible severe weather surrounding that in this yellow shaded color. This could include the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, and as far south again as Louisiana and central Texas. Well, if you want additional weather forecast updates, including this channel, be sure to hit the description down below and follow me on HWeather420 to get more updates on Twitter. Otherwise, thank you for watching today's video. As always, hope everybody had a great Mother's Day yesterday and had a lot of fun time with their moms and hanging out with everybody. Definitely a good time. But thank you guys again so much for watching my video. And be sure to press the like button, the thumbs up button down below. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. I'll get to those later on today. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to get all of my daily weather forecast updates on this channel. Have a great Monday, everybody. A great week ahead, and I will see you all in the next video.